Jenna Laird starting at shortstop again tonight for Carolina. Saw a similar defensive lineup yesterday with Brito at third and Laird at short. Donna Gold remains out of the lineup. Back up the middle. And Jenna Laird leads things off with a single here in the second. And we go down to Sydney Supley.
Hannah Flippen, the Utah Talons shortstop, is one of the most decorated defensive players we have ever seen in the sport. And I talked to her about where her love started. She said it's coming from a family of 3 boys who every single morning before school, they would play wall ball, throwing tennis balls against the wall and trying to get each other out. She said that went from trying to beat my brothers to now trying to be the difference maker for my team. And Natasha, you can relate to this. At shortstop, she said, I love defense because it's the longest part of the game. I can impact my team and be the ultimate connector and leader for the Talons.
So much relatability and so much respect for Hannah Flippen. I love watching her play defense. She can change the tone of the game just by one defensive play, always communicating, and she's almost like another coach out there on how she takes leadership in the infield.
We're hoping to talk to Hannah Flippen amid action during the third inning. That could be fun. Mackenzie Clark at the plate. Clark continues to remain in the lineup because she is fantastic in center field. We saw her gun down her 6th runner at the plate yesterday. Still, though, hitless on the year. They'd love for her to get the bat going.
Yeah, and just an absolute hose. I took in my notes, do not run on Mackenzie Clark, but trying to get that bat going as well.
On the corner, Clark goes down looking. As Dallas Escobedo McGee has her first strikeout on the night.
And it almost looks like Mackenzie Clark is guessing a little bit, not sure which pitch she's sitting on. You see a backdoor curve, a curve on the outside, and she just needs to pull that trigger, but gets her looking.
Brito on the first pitch into center field. Coleman got a good jump. And back to Clark for a moment. That's not a fun place to be. I know you've been in moments like that over your lengthy playing career. How do you break out of that?
You just got to start swinging. You just got to start chipping away. It's the small wins. Can I just now put the ball in play? Next, can I put the ball in play hard? And then that's how you start to squeak through and kind of get through that funk.
Back to the top of the lineup now for Aubrey Leach. Swings at the first pitch and hammers it into right field. Brito going to third. Another Jenna Laird, I beg your pardon. First and third now with 2 outs.
And Aubrey Leach able to squeak this through the 3-4 hole, but if you just take a notice of Jenna Laird, just smart base running. As soon as she sees that ball get through, she takes a peek back and doesn't even hesitate, and on your own, and also knowing that that is the deepest part of the field. That ball is going away from her, so she's on third, first and third for the Blaze.
And they have Reese Atwood at the plate. It was Atwood who hit the second pitch of her first at bat in the first inning yesterday out of the ballpark to put the Blaze up early. Swings it hard here. Over the glove of Olchin, it one-haps the wall. 2 runs are going to score. And for the second night in a row, Reese Atwood delivers.
How about Reese Atwood? I mean, she is just seeing the ball so well. And when she's got runners on in scoring position, she's hitting .667. And so she wastes no time again to cash in today. But this ball just gets away from Jalen Olchin, too. Just not sure where she was with the fence. And also, you kind of think about the sun to shade combo. That ball comes into the shade. And now the Blaze, they're up 3-1.
And Utah, for the second day in a row, making an early pitching change. Dallas Escobedo McGee's day is done. Megan Faremo coming in when we come back. Megan Faremo came on to get the final out of the second inning. He's out there for her first full inning of work. Face Bailey Klingler, who's been the thorn in the flesh of this Talons pitching staff. 5 plate appearances this weekend. She has 4 hits.
Yeah, and Bailey Klingler, just an impact player, an offensive player, just a ball player. She can play on both sides of the ball.
Hits the ball hard to left. Alchin's back on it. And this deep Dumpke Family Stadium kept that one in the yard.
Number 72, Valerie Cagle.
225 down the lines, 235 to center field. Biggest ballpark in the AUSL by far. Here's Valerie Cagle. Cagle had an RBI single, has 3 RBIs in this series. Has earned back-to-back starts. And Natasha, when you get an opportunity like Cagle's gotten, this is exactly how you want to take advantage of it.
Absolutely, and she has really established herself in this lineup as an offensive threat.
Cagle as recently as about a year ago thought about quitting softball entirely. Redeveloped a love for the game in the offseason over in the Netherlands. Now playing a part down the stretch for the Blaze as she fouls off this latest offering.
But just think about the new life that she's regained, and just love that for her, of not stepping away from the game, staying with it and finding another way that she can contribute. And sometimes that's so hard when the game is not bringing you joy, and glad that she found that out pretty quick.
Did Cagle go around? Yes, she did. Faremo retires Valerie Cagle. Her second strikeout of the night.
So you'll see Megan Faremo going to this drop pitch a little bit more than she has in the past, because she's getting a lot of athletes to chase on it. And that's been something that she's been trying to implement, trying to develop in her game. Another out pitch. She gets another K.
And throws a first pitch strike to Devin Netz. Netz had a chance to drive in another Blazed run in the first. Flew out to right in foul territory, stranding a pair. Just low. And you really have to like what Faremo's come in and done, similarly to what we saw Georgina Korek do yesterday for the Talons in relief of Taylor Tinsley.
Yes, really coming in and settling in and setting the tone for the Talons on the defensive side. Just attacking these Blaze hitters. She's going right at them.
There's a look at Korek. Went 7 innings in relief yesterday, did Georgina Korek. 2025 AUSL Pitcher of the Year, just starting to get back into form after completing her Japanese season. The timeout called by Faremo. Looked like there might have been some confusion with the PitchCom device that relays the signs from the dugout to the catcher and ultimately to the pitcher as well. Netz fights off the 2-2.
GM Dana Sorensen talked about Devin Netz and just said that she wants her to be a hitter. She doesn't want her to think about that she's a pitcher that can hit, and so has called on her to just really hone in on her craft of swinging the bat as well. She's a hitter first.
And the hitter will put one into right field. No single with 2 outs as the inning continues for Carolina. That's now with a 4-game hitting streak after that single.
Stepping on the plate now, number 17, here's Jenna Laird.
That'll bring up Jenna Laird, who led off the second inning with a single off of Dallas Escobedo McGee. Would come around to score in that frame. Laird making her second start at shortstop this season. Former Gold Glover at the collegiate ranks at that position for Mizzou. Goes the other way. Alchin giving it a look, and it lands a few steps into foul territory.
Yeah, Jenna Laird, just in the preseason camp, just wowed the coaches because honestly, you can put her anywhere. You saw her play in the outfield a couple of starts, but I remember watching her at Mizzou, just incredible hands, incredible footwork, fun player.
Framo again steps off the rubber. Pitch clock was winding down. Maybe a little bit of gamesmanship right there. Pitch clock only at 15 seconds here in the AUSL. Ground ball up the middle, off the glove of Framo. Had that gotten through, it was probably going to be a clean out.
Yeah. Those are always the tough ones, especially as a middle infielder, just, you know, letting your pitchers know, hey, I got you, let that go. But obviously your first reaction is to go for that if you're making Framo.
That's Laird's now third multi-hit game of the season. Runners on first and second and 2 outs. Touched on Mackenzie Clark struggles at the plate last time she came up. No better time than the present to break out of a season-long slump.
Absolutely, and just keeping it simple. Trying not to overdo it, not overswinging, tracking the ball deep.
Fouls that one into the mitt of Palacios behind the plate.
Yeah, and you see her pointing to her nose, just keeping your head on it. That swing, she's completely bailing on it, so keeping her head, tracking it a little bit more.
Fouls that one off way ahead. Clark, one of the best players to ever play at Clemson University, a standout center fielder for John Rittman's Clemson Tigers. One of the new powers in college softball. A ball and 2 strikes to Clark. A swing goes around, and that'll be the end of the inning. Megan Framo works out of trouble. She has 3 strikeouts early in her outing. Talons.
Reminding her of Jenny Finch's rookie year all the way back in 2005 when she won 15 consecutive games. And when you look at the similarities between Finch and Pickens, it's hard to deny. They're 6'1" frame, athletic built, and on top of that, they both have such loyalty to their hometowns. And when I talked to Dana Sorensen, she said they do everything they can to be a great role model for this game. So it was only fitting that Jenny Finch was the one that gave Pickens her golden ticket as her lifelong role model.
Just an incredible moment. Those golden ticket moments have become much watch during the offseason, or the AUSL offseason, the college season.
Yeah, so many similarities between Jenny Finch and Carlin Pickens, but it's more the character, just being a teammate of Jenny Finch. Always made the people around her better, and also just being a great ambassador of the game.
Pickens already having a huge impact. She's known for speed. Threw a pitch yesterday, 77. Her fastest pitch came against Nebraska back in 2025, close to 80. If we were playing in the MLB, it would have been close to 112 miles per hour.
Which is crazy, but the thing that stands out to me is the stride length, 7 feet. When she comes off that mound, she's literally almost at you.
What makes that so tough as a hitter?
It's the deception. Just she's so long and she's so lanky, and so just trying, and she is a power pitcher. She works off that mound, so it can be distracting as a hitter, so just trying to stay within your zone.
Grounded to short. Laird had one play. Andrews was bearing down on second, and Laird makes the smart decision to get the out at first. Coleman is retired.
And a good heads-up play by Laird, just knowing the speed that she had with Andrews on second.
There's Jadlyn Alchin. Alchin saw 8 pitches in her first at-bat against Carlin Pickens back in the first inning tonight, ultimately rounding out to first base harmlessly. Saw 9 pitches in an at-bat off of Pickens yesterday. That gets away from Atwood as Andrews advances 60 feet.
And this is the part of the lineup for Carlin Pickens where she got in trouble in that bottom of the first. So again, just having to find that zone.
This one's on the corner to Olchin. Pickens got off to a slow start tonight, has rebounded nicely though prior to that walk to Andrews to lead off the inning and retired 4 straight. And Olchin a little bit out front.
Yeah, that's a changeup, and that was 64 miles per hour. 64 miles per hour, which is, you know, what some other pitchers are throwing their hardest stuff at. So crazy for Olchin to be out in front on a 64 miles per hour pitch.
Even crazier to think that that's about a 13 mile per hour difference from the upper end of Pickens' velocity. Wild. Another off-speed pitch and gets Olchin to swing out of the zone. 2 outs here in the third.
And Carlin Pickens was struggling with that changeup in the bottom of the first, but goes to it back-to-back and is able to get a hot Jalen Olchin swinging.
Woolery fouls off the first pitch. And I don't know about you, Natasha. You were a former hitter, so you might not like what I have to say right now, but I am excited to see the continued progression of Carlin Pickens now as a professional.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I am too. She can only get better, right? And I think for me, what I would love to see her do is just be able to split the zone just a little bit more. Obviously, right now, she's hard and down, which I think makes her great because she keeps the ball down. A lot of these pitchers, if you elevate it, but if she can start to get some respect in the upper half of the zone, I think she'll be great.
And you were a former slapper. I feel like you would have liked down and hard.
No, actually, that's the worst for a slapper. Anything that's hard and down, it's hard for picking pitch selections, picking where the strikes are. It's almost better when you have pitches that are eye level, so it's easier to see them. So that's what makes her effective, because it's hard to kind of decipher, you know, if that ball is going to continue to go down into the zone.
1-2 low to Jordan Woolery. Delivered an RBI ground out off of Carlin Pickens back in the first. And allowed Jada Coleman to come in and score the first run of the game for the Talons. Threatening again here. Woolery inside third. Makes the big turn at first. She'll coast into second. 3 innings in, 2 RBIs for Jordan Woolery. And the Talons are back within 1.
Yeah, Jordan Woolery, again, just a clutch hitter. She never wastes any at-bats, especially when there's ducks on the pond. And this is a 2-2 pitch, and she knows right off the bat that gets another run in for the Talons, 3-2.
And that was Jordan Woolery's first extra base hit in the last 6 games. Yes, she's been on base a ton. The Talons would love to see her start to do more damage. Has been such a big piece, as have so many rookies in the AUSL this year. Think of players like Atwood and Pickens, 2 leading contenders for Rookie of the Year in the AUSL. I would not want to be someone who has to vote on that award.
I know, right? That's. I hope that maybe they can split it. Pitcher of the Year, Player of the Year. But definitely the both of them, just the rookie campaigns that they have been putting up, they have just definitely both have been making a case for potentially being Rookie of the Year.
Wyckoff worked a 4-pitch walk-off of Pickens in the first. She's ahead 3-0. That caught the upper part of the zone. Zone a little bit different here at the pro level, about 1 softball taller than at the collegiate level. That aided Pickens there. And now Pickens has back-to-back strikes.
Yeah, and just good location. She's spotting that drop ball a little bit better than she was in the bottom of the first.
The payoff. Wyckoff stays alive. She's been one of the best stories in the AUSL this season. Got called up out of that reserve athlete pool a couple of weeks ago. Played her college ball at Arkansas, and in the pros, she has just raked. Earned her spot on this team, probably for the foreseeable future. Grounded to first, Klingler has it. And a tag for the final out of the inning. The Talons get a run back. It's Jordan Woolery doing what she does best.
Blown me out of the water. I'm so proud to be Utah U and to be a Utah Talon.
Alyssa Brito stepping to the plate to lead things off here in the fourth.
So Hannah, you know I love watching you play defense, and anytime I get to chat with you, I want to talk defense. And so you were coaching a U team. You were coaching Caitlin Lowe's daughter in Tucson, Arizona. Caitlin Lowe, the head coach at University of Arizona, her daughter, an Olympian. But just talk about when you're teaching defense, what are the first things that you're teaching young kids?
Oh, man. Well, first off, what an honor to have Natasha Watley say that she likes watching me play defense, so that's pretty cool, and thank you. But honestly, it's just, I honestly teach the kids, like, just to play. Like, I grew up throwing the tennis ball against the wall with my brothers before school, and so the biggest thing, I think, is just to play and to develop that hand-eye coordination. And I think as you get older, the rest kind of come. And but I always say, like, there's no such thing as bad hops, just bad infielders and bad feet. So if you have bad feet, you're going to get some bad hops. So just have really good feet.
No, I love that saying. Like, it's, hey, you know, it's your feet are, your glove is where your feet are.
Exactly.
Okay, so I want you to talk about Savannah Jaquist. She's never played second base. Talk about what makes her so great.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly what I just said of how you teach little kids to just be athletes, as she's an athlete. And she is capable of playing anywhere on the field because of that. And she takes a lot of pride in preparing herself. When she found out that she was playing in second base, she came out here and took probably 50 ground balls before the game started. So she is a hard worker, but also she's just an athlete, and she's a gamer and wants to play, and she'll play anywhere on this field.
2-2 pitch coming up here to Alyssa Brito. Hits one hard to left. Alchin back on it. And makes the catch on the run for out number 2.
So with Jaquist, what were some of the first things that she needed to work on going to be a second baseman?
Yeah, just obviously the distance. Yeah, we're in here on a bunt. Obviously the distance going from third base to second base, not only is it farther, but it's on the other side of the field, and so the bat angle's a little different. So first thing she did was get over to that side of the field and start taking some ground balls. But again, it just comes back to good feet. The other day she had a ground ball where kind of stopped her feet and got eaten up a little bit, picked it up, still got the out. But as soon as you stop your feet, that's when you get in trouble. So we just talked about it. Later in that game, she had another opportunity. She ran through it, had a great play at first. So she's also a quick learner, and so that is also a huge skill. She wants the coaching. She wants people to help her. So being coachable is a huge skill to have when you're learning to play new positions.
Aubrey Leach at the plate at the moment for the Blaze. And Hannah, switching gears a little bit, your team's been having to face one of the fastest pitchers in the pro level in Carlin Pickens. What have you seen off of her early today?
Yeah, I mean, Carlin's a great pitcher. There's no surprise in that. There's a reason why she's here, but we just keep calling. Hey! Yeah, Jax! Hi, babe! Yeah, so Carlin's a great pitcher, but we have this thing in the dugout over here where we're just calling all these pitchers Sally. It's just another arm coming in the circle. They have to go above their head and throw it over the white thing. So not trying to make it too much, but obviously an elite arm and going to grind out some at-bats and cross another one across the plate. Yeah, Meg!
Reese Atwood steps to the plate now with 2 outs.
So, Hannah, it's your 7th year AUSL, 2nd year in this format. Just talk about, from the beginning to now, just kind of from your perspective and the differences that you've seen.
Oh my gosh, 7th year to now is just the growth that we've had in this sport, not only in this league, but just in the sport in general, has been so incredible. And then to have us go from playing every game in Chicago and Rosemont, Sundays we didn't have the greatest turnouts. We were playing on Tuesday nights and it was cold, and to going to places like this where we're selling out on the 4th of July, like people could be doing so many other things, but they want to come here and watch pro softball. And I think it's a testament to those before us, like Tosh and Kaylin, and the rookies like Jordan coming in here and taking up space and just balling out.
Well, Hannah, we're going to step away and let you play defense. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks. Go
Good job,
Talons.
Hannah.
Ball and 2 strikes to Reese Atwood as Megan Faremo misses off the plate. So cool to see where this game has come. She mentioned players like you, Caitlin Lowe, Kat Osterman, so many. Atwood, high, deep. Is it gone? It is! Reese Atwood has done it again. Her 3rd straight game with a home run and an insurance run for the Blaze.
Reese Atwood. My goodness, she is seeing the ball so good. And just so effortless power. I love her confidence at the plate right now. Just take a look at this. She just turns on this. This is a screw on the inside pitch. A little bat flip, too. Just the confidence. 6 home runs on the season for Reese Atwood.
Hit one to dead center field yesterday. Now a solo shot to left. And a chain around her neck. Reese Atwood loving her time right now with the Carolina Blaze.
Yeah, and you can just tell she's having so much fun and just enjoying this level of the game. And she's making a name for herself as a rookie.
Atwood, a 2-time Women's College World Series champion at Texas. The 1st round draft pick. 1-1 off the plate. Actually, she was a 2nd round pick. Towards the front end of that 2nd round. I think there's some teams that might be saying, man, I wish I had Reese Atwood on my team.
Oh, just so valuable behind the plate.
And as we mentioned earlier, that rookie class that is in the AUSL right now, so deep. We're seeing people who were drafted in the 3rd, even 4th round, like Kenley Cahalan, just having big impacts.
Right, and Dakota Kennedy, too, another rookie here, up to bat.
2-2 fouled off. Kennedy a single and a strikeout so far tonight. She was the first batter that Megan Faremo faced when she came in relief for Dallas Escobedo McGee, who started tonight's game. Well, he stays alive. Faremo trying to respond after the home run. Kennedy the other way, it's foul. And I think one thing that is worth talking about, you think of a player like Reese Atwood and just all of her experience in the postseason. This is a Carolina team that's in the hunt for a postseason spot right now.
Absolutely, and just the way that they've been playing, the way that they've been able to put at-bats together, put runs on the board, they're becoming a scary team.
Kennedy just continuing to fight here off of Faremo. So 5 pitches off of Faremo, the first time she faced her this evening. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Grounded to second. There's Jaquish, much improved in the infield. Gets the final out of the inning, but another in 3rd in the AUSL standings. 2 and 3 seeds after the league regular season is complete would advance into the play-in game to reach the championship series. Carlin Pickens' night is done. Emma Lemley, rather, coming into the circle.
Yes, and Emma Lemley, she'll be in the upper 60s, but more side to side with that curve. She's got a rise that she'll climb that ladder with. Also, too, has developed a drop ball this season to try to implement another out pitch. GM Dana Sorensen said last year she was just getting in a lot of full counts. A lot of hitters were just continuing to foul off pitches off of her, and so this year coming into the season, she needed to implement that drop ball. So another secondary option for her.
There's the 1-1 to Bree Ellis. Struck out swinging off of Carlin Pickens to end the first earlier tonight. Ellis has had a couple of stints out of the lineup, one on the injured list. She's missed some games, but back and we're told fully healthy and having a big impact for this Talons team. Count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Emma Lemley has been pitching great lately, only 4 earned runs over her last 8 innings. Ellis goes the other way. Long run, and the catch made by Mackenzie Clark. We told you she can cover a lot of ground.
Yeah, just effortless, right? Just so much speed. I mean, she got to that bat ball and really honestly made it look easy, but she traveled a long way. She's starting dead center, and that was clearly almost right center.
I'll bring up Charlize Palacios. Struck out looking back in the second. Correct me if I'm wrong, that play by Clark, the most important part is that jump.
The jump, the read off the bat, and so a lot of times you'll see a lot of these outfielders taking reps in the outfield off of BP, so it's all about your reads. Just that first step is so important in the outfield.
Lemley quickly working ahead. Palacios, we mentioned her good pitching lately. Went 4 innings, gave up just 1 earned against this Talons team that was missing Charlize Palacios. Just off the injured list. Oh, 2, just off the corner. Hard hit. Into left field, Kennedy gonna gobble it up. Palacios now with hits in both games of this series.
Yeah, and Palacios just staying in that at bat, working from behind. She had a 1-2 count, but you can see Emma Lemley starting trying to expand that zone. So this was a curve on the outer half, and Charlize Palacios just sneaks that one in.
A runner aboard for the Talons. They trail by 2. Utah won the first 2 games against Carolina last week in Durham. They lost the series finale, lost game 1 yesterday. Winner of this was ultimately going to take the season series, as Reese Atwood showing off that arm that's been so good early in her pro career.
Yeah, and I will tell you, as a person who has stolen bases, like, you absolutely have to keep your eyes on Reese Atwood behind the plate. She is so sneaky. She's got such a strong arm, and she'll have that no-look. I want to call it a no-look pass. Never said anything like that in softball, but it's almost like she has a no-look pass, and she'll get you sleeping.
Leads the league with 4 caught stolen bases on the year. 2-1 to Jaquish off the corner. Held it a little bit longer right there. Trying to get that call for her pitcher. Another hit into left field. Back-to-back hits with 1 out. And the Talons have a runner in scoring position.
And both Charlize Palacios and Savannah Jaquish are both hitting these curveballs on the outer half, and they're pulling them to the left side. So that is also because they just faced Carlin Pickens, who's throwing upper 75 today. So Emma Lemley, she's got to get those pitches a little bit more off the plate so that they can put any bats on them.
And now we will get a pinch runner at second as Caroline Jacobson enters this game. You get a little added speed. Hannah Flippen, who spent some time talking to us last inning, now up and represents the go-ahead run. And Lemley starts her off with a first pitch ball. Got off to the good start to the inning, did Lemley, but a couple of quick singles here, and suddenly she's in some trouble. Former Virginia Tech standout, trying to get out of the inning unscathed.
And again, if I'm Hannah Flippin, I'm going to follow suit like Savannah Jaquish and Charlize Palacios. I'm thinking curve. If anything, I want to think right center on those curves.
2-1, grounded to third. Brito steps on the bat, fires to first, and it's a double play. What a play from Alyssa Brito to get Emma Lemley out of trouble.
Alyssa Brito, she just fires me up all the time defensively. Just gets it herself and just has a gun for the third out for the Blaze with 2 outs.
They push that one out. We're leaving a lot of pressure on their pitchers, and thanks to Miralax, an official partner of the AUSL. To the top of the 5th we go. Here at Dumpke Family Stadium, beautiful Salt Lake City. Final time we'll be in Salt Lake City this year. Awesome crowd here, as we've seen all season long. Alongside Natasha Watley, I'm Noah Frary. Klingler is going to be retired, and Talons pitchers can celebrate. They've just not been able to get her out all series.
They have not been able to figure her out, and they're able to figure her out with the changeup and just gets her a little bit out in front, gets her a little bit off of her timing, and so 1 out for the Talons.
Prior to that at-bat, she'd had 4 hits in 6 plate appearances, all of them singles. Passes the baton to Val Cagle. Another player that's really hurt the Talons this year. Had her first home run of the season against the Talons in Game 3 last week. 2 RBIs last night, an RBI already this evening. Megan Farimo's come in and done a nice job since entering in relief of Dallas Escobedo McGee. She gave up 3 earned. Farimo has limited the damage to just 1 over these last couple of frames. Two pitch on the way from Megan. And it'll catch the corner. Cagle down looking. What makes that pitch so tough?
It is the sharpness on it and just the spin. If you just take a look at the spin on this curveball on the inner half, it is coming super tight. And a hard pitch to get that bat head out in front, especially after the changeups that you saw before that.
And Farimo has been fired up in the circle from the very get-go this evening. Always been known as an incredibly emotional pitcher in a great way. These are the type of pitchers that you love playing behind.
Yeah, just a true competitor in the circle, and just I love how she loves to hone in on her craft. She loves to continue to get better, to evolve. She's constantly trying to reinvent herself. With a pitch like that drop, again, that's something that she's started to implement a little bit more in her pitch mix.
And a 5th strikeout. And for Farimo, you'll see her on the international stage coming up in a few weeks. She's on that elite team for Team USA at the International Cup. Team USA going to send 2 teams to the International Cup this season. The elite and the senior national team. Here's the 2-2. One of the best pitchers in recent memory for the UCLA Bruins. Nets with a nice piece of hitting, but Jaquish is there for a little bit. But could they get back into the standings with some strong play down the stretch? Carolina has another late lead, and they are going to Keilani Ricketts, yesterday's starter. Ricketts coming on trying to preserve a 2-run lead. You can just sense how big these games feel right now for the Blaze with how they're managing this staff.
And just all hands on deck, right? Keilani Ricketts got the start yesterday, and I thought she looked phenomenal. Just that drop ball, just a heavy, heavy break, and she had it moving yesterday, had the Talons full.
Started that game, went 4 innings strong, picked up the win. It was her second of the year. Andrews grabs this one foul. Tasha, you and I found ourselves after the game last night just talking about some of the pitching decisions for the Blaze team. And as I just mentioned, you can sense the urgency right now from Cara Dill's side.
Yeah, especially facing this part of the lineup. Just going back to last inning, how they were having those at-bats off of Emma Lemley. So just changing it up. No, you're coming up to the top of the lineup. But again, these are must-win games for the Blaze in the standings when it comes down. A couple of weeks from now, it's going to come to head-to-head, so you want to try to get that win tonight.
We talked about what Keilani Ricketts was able to do yesterday. Here's a look. She came in and held this Talons offense at bay.
Yeah, she got Jordan Woolery striked out twice on that drop on the outside half, but the drop, just the break that she had on it, it was moving. It's a deceptive drop. She'll pop it off of her hip, and 4 Ks yesterday.
Okay, so you say all of that, it's deceptive. She pops it off their hip. Why is that so challenging as a batter?
It's hard because of just the deception of where you're trying to make contact. It falls off of a table, and so just trying to figure out your contact point is the hardest thing to figure when you're facing Keilani Ricketts.
Coleman stays on that pitch, dunks it into right. The speedy Andrews thought about going to third, probably a right decision to pump the brakes. Runners on first and second, and nobody out.
Jada Coleman just out in front on this pitch. This is a elevated pitch, but just gets her bat head out. But take a look at Aaliyah Andrews. She's thinking I'm going, but reads her coach and stops. But I think a good decision.
We saw a couple of risky sends, some that benefited the Talons yesterday, some that did not. This is a huge game with plenty of ramifications down the stretch. If you're Carolina and you hang on to win this game, you will have won the season series over the Talons, which I think could loom really big in some of those tiebreakers later in the season. Here's Olchen on the first pitch. She sends it into the gap and left. Andrews is going to score. They're going to hold Coleman up. Jadlyn Olchen, tell me if you've heard this before. She comes through once again.
She has been so money and so fun to watch. And just such great hands. Just take a look at her hands. Again, when she's trying to think about hitting anything down in the zone, she lowers her hands. She's straight to the ball, keeps her hands inside, and she gets the Talons a little bit closer.
And that was a big hit for Olchen and the Talons as a whole. They had been just 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position prior to that double for Jadlyn Olchen. Now Keilani Ricketts has to face Jordan Woolery, who has a pair of RBIs tonight. Up to 8 on the season, 125 across her collegiate and pro. And goes down swinging.
Yeah, yesterday, Keilani Ricketts had Jordan Woolery's number, struck her out twice on that drop ball. She gets her again. It's just the placement of this pitch. It's on the outer half, but again, a heavy, heavy break.
Talons still trailing by 1 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Final game they'll play at home this year. Kaylee Wyckoff's had some big hits here at Dumpke. Can she deliver another? On the corner, 1-1. Back to the netting. Wyckoff, one of those players that you want up in big spots, had a huge home run in the SEC tournament this year. Also hit the first home run in Arkansas program history in the Women's College World Series off of Jordy Fromm. And now Wyckoff lines it to Brito. And credit Coleman, she was paying attention. Those two former teammates having some fun.
Oh, you gotta love it. It's kind of like a little cat and mouse game over there, but Jada Coleman was on her game there.
Those two start on a couple of national championship teams in Oklahoma.
Yes.
You have to imagine Patty Gasso was pleased with how Coleman responded on the ball hit hard in play.
Yes, just freeze, don't move, and also even just Brito just being able to stop that. That was a hard hit ball.
Leave it to an Oklahoma Sooner to know how to play that play perfectly on both sides. On the corner, Debris Ellis, the 2025 USA Softball Player of the Year at Arkansas. What a story she's been this season. After a sluggish rookie year, she's turned it around and become one of the best hitters as Sydney Balbalone wants time. And Sydney Supley, you can add.
Well, you guys mentioned it. Ellis has had a transformation sort of epiphany. She said, in understanding last year to this year, I needed to be better at understanding pitching sequences. So the way that she practices it is actually when she's on defense now, she predicts what one of her pitchers is going to throw, looks down at her pitch comm, and sees if she's right. And she said, that is taking my hitting to another level, understanding how a pitcher is going to attack me.
And you love that, Natasha.
I love that. I used to do the same thing at short. I would put down a number.
Just off the corner.
At shortstop, when I would relay the signs to the outfielders, I would put down a number of a pitch that I thought, but obviously I would erase if I was wrong. But just playing that game, just trying to think the game with your battery as well.
Hard hit, but foul.
But how that relates to when it comes to hitting is thinking how pitchers are attacking hitters, you know, how they're setting them up. What's their out pitch? What are they throwing when they're ahead? What are they throwing when they're behind?
Ricketts trying to get out of the inning. Ellis living to find another pitch. Sometimes the biggest moments in games happen ahead of the 7th inning. This feels like the biggest moment of this game right now. Here's the pitch. Low, and the count is full. It's been all blaze in this series. Can the Talons come through with a big hit? Long run, Brito near the fence, and that one gets into the first row. Guy in the Cubs hat over there couldn't make the catch. Ellis locking in for a big moment. And on the 5th full count of the night, it's Bri Ellis who works the walk, and the bases are loaded.
Just such calm presence from Bri Ellis, and you could just see that she's just got so much more control in her at-bats, not guessing, actually seeing pitches deep, and that is a big, big walk right there.
And the Talons trying to get this fan base behind them. A check on the swing, no. For Charlize Palacios. Struck out looking earlier tonight off of Carlin Pickens. Had a single off of Emily back in the 4th. Palacios into center field. It's going to stay in the yard. Clark is underneath it. And Kaylani Ricketts limits the damage.
Just Hannah Flippen being able to play back at her alum, her alma mater, played at Utah, but just even from talking to her, she talked about how at the start of AU, they used to play in one venue, playing in Chicago, but now playing in all these different markets, and just how she is so connected to this community and just loves being able to play here in Utah.
And it's worth mentioning as well, Amy Hogue, the head coach here for Utah, has done a great job building her program at the collegiate level, and this fan base that then led to the perfect storm of this first season of the Talons here in Salt Lake City. Here comes the 0-2 from Faremo. It's low.
She's so cute every single time we see her. Coach Hogue just comes in and pops in the broadcast booth and says thank you. She always says thank you to us, and my reply back is thank you. Thank you for allowing AU to be here and allowing us to kind of adopt your community.
She's been out at most of the games this year. Don't want to shortchange her. May have been out at all of the games, but the city of Salt Lake has just been such a great host all season long. Kind of sorry to see it end. 2-2 as Laird continues to fight. A couple of defensive changes. Woolery is over at first, Becker's at second, Jaquish goes to third, and Ellis is at DP, similar to what we saw yesterday as the Talons try to shore up their defense late in the game. Off the plate, 3-2.
Yeah, Rachel Becker serving more as a defensive specialist, coming into second base. So usually they have Bree Ellis at first. The Talons need that bat in that lineup.
Here's the payoff from Faremo. Off the plate and a leadoff walk. An inauspicious beginning to the top of the sixth for Megan Faremo.
Let's go, Alyssa.
And we go down to Cindy Supley.
Megan Faremo told me her greatest strength on the mound comes from her mentality. And that's from years of journaling where she's filled over 100 notebooks, something that started with her mother. And I watched her. She journals between every single inning. But before today's game, she said, I wanted to reflect on an entry about finding her authentic center. And when you watch Faremo in the circle, she's somebody who plays with a lot of big emotions. And she doesn't want to shy away from expressing them at every high and every low. But it's how quickly can she get back to that middle ground and find her center. And to even take it a step further, I saw her pitching on the ground all week long, just trying to grounding, but it looks like it'll be time for her to pass the ball to Montana Fouts.
Yes, and Megan Faremo, just definitely a pitcher that is in tune with herself and her ability to kind of get over that mental mindset. Journaling, when you took a look at that notebook, I mean, those were novels that are in there, but just being able to internalize, reflect, get that out on paper, and that's what makes Megan Faremo so good.
Well, Megan Faremo will pass the baton to Montana Fouts. And for what could be the final time here in 2026, Megan Faremo comes off the field here at Dumke Family Stadium. And now it's a moment that we were hoping, selfishly, Natasha, we would see in this game. Montana Fouts has been the best pitcher in the league this year. She is the odds-on favorite to win Pitcher of the Year, and now she comes in with her team trailing by a run.
And I think just with the atmosphere and everything that was happening tonight, just this being the last home game for the Utah Talons, and just what Montana Fouts has been to this pitching staff and to this team, and so great to see her get the ball.
And Montana Fouts, the last time she faced this Blaze offense, she mowed them down.
And Montana Fouts, she has been electric all year, but what's been so impressive about Montana Fouts is her placement of her pitches. She hardly ever misses over the heart of the plate, but she's got that curve, the rise, also has implemented a drop as well. But she'll go to both sides of the plate with that curve in the backdoor curve.
Everyone up, ready to watch Montana Fouts. series meant a lot to both teams. The Blaze have been out on the front foot. And with a move like this, you understand how much this means to the Talons, trying to keep this at a one-run game.
Yeah, trying to keep them in the game. Also, too, this game means a lot for them as momentum as they head in to the rest of the season. That they are going to be on the road, so you want to make sure you kind of carry some good momentum as you continue on in the rest of the season.
And Cara Dill going to go to a pinch hitter here on a Gold. Will hit for Mackenzie Clark. Gold been out of the lineup yesterday, and for the most part today has been struggling at the plate. No better time than the present for last year's Rookie of the Year, and stares at a first pitch ball from the ace Montana Fouts. Gold just 2 for her last 17 stepping into this plate appearance.
Yeah, and on a Gold, just having a slow start to the season. And I always say it's like sophomore blues. This is her second year being a pro, and so just trying to get back into things. You don't have a full season, a full college season that she came off of like she did last year.
You see a lot of pros kind of struggle with that, unless you're Erin Koffel. Her second year was an MVP year in the AUSL last year.
Yeah, and I think it's, you know, it differs from player to player, but trying to figure out what makes you great in that off season, you have to relearn that.
And it's challenging because when you're at the collegiate level, a lot of what you do, you're told how to do it, what to do. Suddenly, you end your pro debut, and you're kind of on your own a little bit.
Yeah, also, you just get a ton of reps in a college season as well. But again, like you said, Noah, you've got to know a lot about yourself as well. So that comes into play when you're a pro.
2-2 to Gold on the corner, cold strike 3. And the moment this Talons fan base has been waiting for has arrived.
And Montana Fouts, this is why she is so good. She hits her spot, she attacks. This is a dropout. She gets Anna Gold looking.
Gonna bring up Alyssa Brito. Having to face Montana Fouts, who I don't think it's a stretch to say could be the best pitcher in the world right now. She's made it her goal to be on that U.S. Olympic team in 2028. And Fouts got one step closer earlier this week, being put on the national team for the upcoming International Cup.
Yeah, and she just continues to keep getting better. And even when it's a game, she gets stronger as the game goes on. But as the seasons goes on, I think she's become a better pitcher than she was in college.
Brito hits one hard to right. Andrews makes a nice play. Catches that one over the shoulder as Jenna Laird has to retreat back to first. Such a luxury having someone like Aaliyah Andrews out in right field.
Yeah, just a true outfielder. They call her Air Aaliyah. And just her reads, her first step makes it look so easy out there.
Lineup turns over now for Aubrey Leach. And this is an important hitter for Montana Fouts because suddenly you have red-hot Reese Atwood looming on deck.
Yeah, you definitely want to go right at it, Aubrey Leach.
Off the plate to Leach, who's been on base in 14 of the 15 games this year for the Blaze. Exactly the type of production that you want to get out of that leadoff spot she's been able to deliver this season. Fouled off and behind, and if you're Fouts, what are you thinking here?
Well, I'm actually thinking about Aubrey Leach, how I would want to approach Montana Fouts. So you see her going to her slap, and you see her standing in to hit. She was slapping that first pitch, but you're splitting the plate. So I'm thinking something out. I'm thinking a curve on the outer half. I'm thinking something left center.
417 hitter with runners on tonight. Leach stays alive.
Yeah, because when you're switching from slapping to hitting, you're trying to figure out timing-wise what's going to be better for me to just get this ball in play, because Montana Fouts, she supplies the speed. She's throwing around 71 right now.
1-2 from Fouts. That one was at 71. If you're wondering what the baseball equivalent to that 71-mile-an-hour pitch is, it's about 95 to 97. gas.
She's throwing smoke. She throws hard.
Win game number 2 as Savannah Jaquish has the first pitch thrown to her by Kaylani Ricketts. Natasha, what's the key for this Talons lineup as we get deeper into this game?
So kind of like what we saw yesterday, we saw Charlize Palacios, Savannah Jaquish really trying to figure out Kaylani Ricketts, but they were taking that drop ball. They were only thinking right side, not overpowering swings. Right now you need base runners, so just trying to single Kaylani Ricketts to death.
Ricketts gave up a pair of hits in her first inning of work in the 5th. Ultimately was able to give up just 1 run, stranded the bases loaded when Charlize Palacios flew out to center field. She was excellent yesterday in the start, earned the win to give the Blaze the opening shot of this series. Anxious moments in the Talons dugout. And Jaquish starts this inning with a strikeout.
Kaylani Ricketts again with that drop. She was pounding the outer half, but comes back in and spins Savannah Jaquish.
Now the baton passes to Hannah Flippin, played her college ball here at Dunkey Family Stadium. We showed you her kind words of thanks prior to this game for this fan base. Now can she deliver a moment? A couple of good swings off of Ricketts, but nothing to show for it.
And Hannah Flippin just has been so nice to see her back in the lineup. Hasn't done a lot at the plate, but just definitely her presence defensively. She talked how she'd like to change the game defensively.
And a clean single into right. And these Talons fans, or should I say Utes fans, giving her a big round of applause. And her former head coach has the cell phone out videoing that single.
Yeah, and she must have heard me talking, but it's exactly that. That's how you single Kaylani Ricketts to death, and just thinking right side, don't overpower the swing.
We'll bring up Aaliyah Andrews. Shows bunts. It goes off of her. She was out of the batter's box. She's out. An unfortunate break there for the Talons.
And just hitting a Kaylani Ricketts drop ball. So we talked about earlier, just as a slap hitter, when you're moving through the box, trying to get something on the ground that is dropping, that is a heavy drop. It's hard for Aaliyah Andrews to get out of the way of that one. Trying to clear her hands. That looks like that hits her out of the box for sure.
The umpires coming together to discuss. I'm not sure if we've had a challenge yet. They can come together and talk about this. This might be a moment, though, that regardless, we could see a challenge. Lily Lopez talking to Cindy Ball Malone, the head coach of the Utah Talons. Here's another look. Is the question here whether the contact was made while she was still in the box?
Right, so right here is where, that's what I was gonna say. It looks like it hits her before she's even stepped into, or stepped out of the batter's box.
It's crazy how different things can look on replay. Because to the naked eye, we saw that one and you felt like it was out of the box. But let's be honest, Team USA men's soccer fans know all about the difference that video review can make.
Yeah, and I did not watch soccer games, so you got to fill me in, but was there a review?
Yeah, there was a incredibly consequential play in Team USA's last game that will see their best striker out for the next round.
The field was that the batter was hit out of the box with the ball being and caller making her out. That is not a reviewable play since it's interference, so the batter is out.
And that is unfortunate for Utah. The rule book not their friend in that situation, unable to challenge. So Andrews is out despite the video evidence that showed she may have been in the box.
Yeah, just a not to reviewable play.
It's low. The script is in Jada Coleman's hands. Hit a go-ahead grand slam earlier this week. Can she do it again here? Her team trails by a run with just 4 outs remaining for the Talons in this game.
Yeah, and Jada Coleman just became a true competitor. The grand slam that she had the other night off of Ali Carter, that first pitch was a curve on the inside. She calls time, and just a reminder to young athletes that you have control as a hitter.
Coleman, her 3rd hit of the night, continues the inning. Flippin goes station to station. And now Jaglin Olchin will have a chance. The 4th multi-hit game of the year for Coleman. 4 hits now in the series, and Olchin is coming up. She has become a fan favorite here in Salt Lake City. An incredible story going from the reserve pool a season ago, earning her spot on this roster. Signs a full-time contract this year, and now up in a huge moment. And a quick reminder that the NWSL is back. Don't miss the showdown on the pitch as Mallory Swanson and the Chicago Stars host the Utah Royals tomorrow at 5 Eastern, right here on CBS Sports Network. And Natasha, what's made Jaglin Olchin such a good hitter this season?
It's been the consistency. She's hit for power, she's hit for average, she's been a hard out.
Count evens up at a ball and a strike. You've got Kaylani Ricketts in the circle, a veteran of all veterans. Olchin still young in her pro career, but has been a huge part this year. And off the glove it goes. That's going to tie the game. Jaglin Olchin gets this capacity crowd to its feet. This game is tied.
And she does it again. She has been so consistent. She's a competitor, she fights, but it's her hands so smooth, and all you can ask for is just being a hard out and continuing to put this ball and play hard, and we've got a tied ball game here in Salt Lake City.
And threatening for more are the Talons. They've been the best team in the league this year coming into this series. They were 12-4, had a 3.5 game lead. And you can sense how much that meant to Jaglin Olchin. That story is just getting better and better.
It is amazing. It's amazing just knowing she was in that reserve pool, just fighting her way to have a roster spot, and she has definitely proved herself.
Couple of new softballs with a request of Willie Lopez, causing a slight delay in the action. The Grizzly veteran, Kaylani Ricketts, trying to limit the damage. 0-2 to Woolery. Fouls it off.
But that's exactly what the Talons just needed to do. It started with Hannah Flippin, just trying to single them to death. They'd single Kaylani Ricketts and just put the ball in play, not trying to overswing, not trying to do too much.
Off the plate, 1-2. Good take from Woolery, who struggled with that pitch outside tonight. 2 RBIs. The vet versus the rookie. for Leach. And Ricketts limits the damage, but the Talons find the run they were looking for. They tie this game as Jadlyn Alchin comes through again. Atwood's been on fire. Fouts has been the best pitcher. And Atwood's done a lot of her damage early in counts. This was a great stat on Twitter. Charlie Mays, who's done a great job of covering the Blaze. 11 of the 15 home runs for the Blaze have come in the first 3 pitches of an at-bat. Atwood sends it into right field. Long run. Andrews in foul territory. And Fouts wins the battle.
Yes, and Fouts wins the battle on that drop on the outside corner, but Reese Atwood just trying to swing earlier in the count, knowing that Montana Fouts is always around the zone.
That'll bring up Dakota Kennedy. Kennedy singled all the way back in the first. It feels like forever ago. Also struck out and grounded out tonight.
Dakota Kennedy, just some great hands. I love how soft her hands are to the ball. Again, she's got effortless power.
I think it's almost easy to feel like Dakota Kennedy gets a little bit overlooked as a rookie in this lineup with how good Carlin Pickens and Reese Atwood have been, but Kennedy's been huge this year for the Blaze.
She has been the difference, and in that 3-hole right behind Reese Atwood, you've got to have someone to protect her, and she's been doing a good job right behind Reese Atwood.
Evens the count up. A game with massive playoff implications. Talons coming into the series, the best in the league. They had a 2.5-game lead on this Blaze team coming into tonight. The Blaze trying to climb up into that 2nd and 3rd spot, maybe all the way up into 1st if they can play well down the stretch. Top 3 teams in the AUSL standings will make the playoffs this year. 3-2 now. Carolina trying to get a base runner against Fouts.
Here, I would think about maybe doing a rise ball, trying to change eye levels. So right now, Montana Fouts is throwing her curve, she's throwing her drop. And Dakota Kennedy's been able to get her hands, but I'm thinking if you throw something up in the zone, try to get her to chase.
Grounded foul. So now give me the inverse. As a hitter, 3-2 going up against Fouts. What's Dakota Kennedy thinking right now?
She's thinking eye level. She's looking down. So I'm thinking that in this count that she's not going to want to walk me. So she's going to give me something around the zone.
Not a good pitch to hit. And the normally sure-handed Hannah Flippin boots it at short. We mentioned how stout this Talons defense had been. That's just their 2nd error in the last 6 games.
Yeah, just very uncharacteristic, but Dakota Kennedy, she hit that ball on the nose, so some funky spin on that, but that gets Hannah Flippin in her heels. But Hannah Flippin knows that that's a play that she can make.
And now we'll see a pinch runner over at first base as Kennedy goes to the bench. That's Jayla Wright. One of the pitchers on this staff, but an incredible athlete. Gives you a little added speed at first base here late in this game with Bailey Klingler, who has 4 hits in the series at the dish. Swinging at the first pitch, a chance to atone. 1, 2, 3. An inning-ending double play. And that's how you make up for this. Fouled off the foot of Wyckoff. She was in the batter's box that time.
Clearly that time, yes, for sure. She wasn't moving. This one just looks like it hits right off the top of her toe. Or off of her shin. Even worse.
It's crazy how much armor they can put on themselves, and it's still going to find an open spot. Just the ball knows.
Yeah.
Middle of the lineup for the Talons. And Wyckoff goes down swinging.
And Carlin Pickens was hitting about 75, 74, but then goes to that changeup. That changeup coming in at 66 miles per hour. And then just that change differential fools Wyckoff.
That'll bring up Bree Ellis. And Bree Ellis to left. And the Talons have won it. Exclamation point on the home year.
And that is the way you end your homestand. This is the last home game in Salt Lake City for the Utah Talons, and no better way than to have a send-off than this.
The moment was in Bree Ellis's hand. A season ago, with this Talons team, she struggled mightily. This year, it's been a different Bree Ellis, and she just delivered the biggest hit of the year.
And my goodness, absolutely crushes this. And just what a difference a year makes. The mentality.
Game at home. What were your emotions rounding third base, heading to your team?
Just, I don't even know. I'm not gonna lie, I don't even know. All I know is that all the at-bats that didn't go my way before, it was all for something, and it all paid off. My goodness, that was so cool.
You talked about your previous at-bats. How were you able to have a new mindset when you step in the box? What were you thinking?
I mean, she just throws so hard. Everyone knows that. So I knew I wasn't going to let her beat me.